What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? It is I, James, RedemptionAgency.com. 23 years selling full-time on eBay. We got Courtney. We got Pee Wee right here. Just got done pulling, so we're going to get into that. See what... I think Adrian was up to... Adrian refed most of the day yesterday, so he was up till about 1:30 doing some shipping, so... this is what he didn't get done, being he had to get up at 7 this morning to go to work. Actually, 7:30 he gets up. So today, right now, it's 7:17 a.m. What? Thought he was going to slide down the steps. He was hanging over the first step, but he made it. He's learning. All right. Curious to see what yesterday numbers ended at, so we'll get into that, the weekend numbers, and then the week numbers also. So we're going to do all those, so we're going to get those knocked out really quick. And then maybe I'll just give my little thoughts on a topic that seems to be having a lot of people talking right now, which is tariffs. And I haven't watched anybody's video. I've been kind of staying away from that end of YouTube and that. So I'm going to just give my hot take on it, if you will, I guess. And then maybe do a little bit more deep diving into some of the stuff and see if those thoughts stick. So I'm just going off on what I do know, the basics and what have you. But let's get into weekend numbers. So yesterday, my media store seemed to be taking a hit from the previous 2 days. We were on track to do like $200 when the day before was $7 and the day before that was $6. So I don't know what was going on there, if it was a backup in queue or if it was just the whole things not being seen situation. So yesterday in the clothing store, which I've listed barely anything in here in about a week, easily. I need to find a bunch of hats, and I know I got boxes and bags of them in other storage locker areas, so the one I'm working on now, I got to see if I got some boxes in there and get some hats. Maybe I'll do that today and get some hats and get some activity in this store. So yesterday's the clothing store was $436, so close to the $500. And again, 2 weeks going on the same pattern on this store. Up, down, up, down, up, down. 2 weeks of that. I'll kind of shift you here. You can probably get a good, starting like right here, going this way. So if you can see that. So 2 weeks of a same pattern. That's questionable. Red flag, as I like to say. Can I coin that phrase? Because I use it a lot. Because there's a lot of hell of a red flags between YouTube people and eBay. Always keep an eye out for the red flags. When you get those red flags, that's when you got to start asking the hard questions. And chances are, if those questions are not properly answered or answered at all, then you know there's more to it. So always question the red flags. Oh, we did jump up. Okay. Maybe it was like a backup in a queue or something. So we ended with $411. So that's double what I thought I was going to end with. It's still a lot lower than previous day, and usually Sundays are higher than Saturdays, down 41.6% from Saturday. So that's ugly, but altogether $847 on the Sunday. For the weekend, which will be Friday through Sunday, we've got a total of total lesser numbers to remember. So of course my 3-day total I want to be as close to 3,000 as I can get it. Oh wow, did I just do that math right? Wow. So boom, almost had $1,000 per day for the weekend. So if that whatever was going on with the media store wasn't acting up, I could have got there easily yesterday. Another $180, I would have been there. That media store should have did at $180, especially being I've been putting up a lot of product in that media store. But like I said, it always seems like when I put it, Saturday when I was putting it up, I was having things selling. And then it kind of went cold toward the second half of the day. And then it seemed cold on Sunday. So when I was listing, like nothing was selling immediately. So when I get those little quick sales, at least one quick sale from even 100 items put up, then that always feels like something's on track. But when I put up 100, 200 and nothing, I always question that. Especially when the sales kind of are lower that day. Because I'm set in my ways. I'm used to eBay working a certain way, damn it. And I'm gonna raise hell until it's back working that way again. All right, so we'll get into the week numbers, top categories for the week. So that's going to be a Monday through Sunday. All right, so we're in the clothing store first. So this week in the clothing store. So what I want to do in each store is $3,500 a week, because that would be $1,000 a day with both stores. So the closest to $3,500 I can get each store, that's like the goal-ish thing. So for the clothing store, $2,347. So $650 shy of where I'd like to be. But this is going to be the easiest store once I just start really getting into my storage and really putting a lot of time into this store. Because I got so much clothes from over the years and stuff in storage. So, 133 items sold. It's up 38% there, with 110 orders. $17.64 is the average price per item. Average price per order is $21.33. That's the number I prefer. I'll just leave that out because I want to see what my average order is on the other one too. So top 5 in the clothing store this week, we got number 5 coming in is NFL items at $77. Number 4 is NCAA, college sports, coming in at $113. Both of those were up. NFL was up 100%. NCAA is up 563%. Number 3 is Major League Baseball, $190. That's up 63% from last week. Men's t-shirts at number 2, $254, up 61.8%, so 62% there. And then men's hats, $876, up 26% there. So Overall, up 31.5 from last week, so that's a positive there for sure. Hell, my net sales are up 41%, so that's good. And in the media store. So I said we want to get to 35 in each store. This one, $3,428. So would have been very close. Again, if yesterday wasn't, I mean, we would have made it easily if yesterday wasn't a little wonky. It's up 14.4% from the week before. My net sales over here up 16.7% from the week before. So both stores, my net is up a little bit more than the total. So that's a positive, right? That's definitely a positive. How that is with both stores is kind of odd, but I'll take it. Especially being one day I had 0 organic sales. Red flag, right? How do you have 0 organic sales when you have 20,000 in one store and you have a total of almost 80,000 items? 0 organics? Yeah, no, something's off. All right, so 273 items, 273 items sold over here this week. 3428.28. That's $12.56 per item, but 184 orders. So a little bit higher than normal on the average per order, $18.63. So definitely a positive there. 28.28. So total for both is about $1,225. Making sure I do my math, it's early. Short of my goal, but still $5,774.75. I'll take it compared to the week before, so for sure. Top 5 items over here. We've got DVDs and Blu-rays at number 5, $116. That's down 3.5% there. Number 4, video games and consoles, $134. That's up 70%. Number 3, music cassettes, $664. That's up 56%. Number 2, vinyl records, $804, up 14.1%. Getting closer to that $1,000 again, huh? I think I hit it once, maybe, I think. Or did I? Or was it, did I? I don't remember if I said in a past video if I hit it or if I was trying to hit it. So, I don't remember. And number 1, music CDs, of course. $1,386, that's up 36%. So, works for me this week. So what's that number per day divided by 7? So $825 a day average. So at least we're back in the 800s. So not the 922 we were trying to reach, but $100 per day short on that end. So I'll take the 800s over the 700s any day. So. I'm just glad that it's up with all the work I'm putting. I don't feel like I'm putting in more work. I just feel like I'm putting in more focused work. So I'm putting in about the same hours. I'm getting up earlier more, but I needed that anyway. Getting to listing at 1 o'clock sucks when my day's already half over at that time. So. And then especially if there's something, a game at night I wanted to watch with the Blues or something, felt like my days were short. So getting up at 6 o'clock and such, is something I needed to do anyway. And thankfully, he's been letting me sleep throughout the night. So prior to that, when he would have his seizures, most of them were at night. So before we got him stable, and then he just always seems to have a little bit of something going on, right? Whether that's allergies or something's weird where he's just drunk a ton of water that day. So I'm up all night, and then that, I guess, week I was overfeeding him, so he had a week of diarrhea and stuff, and we were up almost every hour at night. So that's all at least back to normal now that I cut his food back again. I tried to portion 4 portions a day instead of 3 by giving less, but I don't think I was really giving less. So I think I was giving more. In the end, I was actually giving more. So went back to the old way. But he's been very stable this past week. So, and I have to give him his nightly. We go for a walk most nights, and he likes his nightly snugs. Because St. Bernards are like lap dogs. They're oversized lap dogs. So I'll sit on the couch that was down here. I put it in the bedroom. So I'll sit on the couch and watch a little TV before I get into the bed, and he'll jump up on the couch and jump up on my lap and lay there. So he likes his cuddles at night. And doing that too, I'm hoping that helps with the brain. I mean, I don't know the full extent of how epilepsy works. So I'm just trying to take, obviously the goal's always been to take as much stress off of him as possible, whether that, might be weight or, yelling at him or anything like that. Like he's on that eat and poo kick where I try not to yell at him. When I say no, he knows what I mean. So when he does, I slap his nose. So I'm trying not to put him under too much stress, but still make my point. Stop doing that. But because I know stress can make your brain act weird and activity and can lead to seizures. So I'm hoping doing the opposite with letting him sit on my lap every night and get rubbed, that helps keep him calm. So just doing all that kind of stuff like that, doing everything I can to, I guess, spoil him without him thinking he's being spoiled or taking advantage of being spoiled. All right, let me get to shipping so I can get to stepping. I've got less in the media store, so I'm going to do that first and get that knocked out of the way. I just pulled the items that have to go out today. So we're at 7:30 a.m. I'm at $34 on the media store right now, and $77 on the clothing store. So $100 at 7:30 a.m. even with a 7-hour shutdown overnight, 7 hours of nothingness. Started about 11 p.m. last night. Then had one sale at 6, then I took an offer at 6. So even with that shutdown, still at $100 at 7:30 a.m. I'll take that. So hopefully we can keep this going. So don't screw it up, eBay. There goes the page of the week. Ship cover package protection just got even better. Add additional declared value coverage for USPS packages up to 15K. What's ship cover? I don't even know what ship cover is. I don't know. All right. The only internationals going to the UK. And let's go. All right, first up, we've got this Johnny Taylor vinyl record. Sold for $560, headed to Oak Hills, California. Do not move for him. You stand your ground. You lay beside her, dude. I'm gonna bring that other bed down here. Let's try to remember to do that today. Clean up that corner and move that bed there. Oh, good boy. All right. So with tariffs, all right. You know, I haven't done a lot of research. I'm just going off the basics of what I do know and what have you. Now, I don't know if I've ever said it on video. I probably have years ago. And I always said that the national debt can't keep going the way it's going. Because that's like the modern day, technically the modern day war. Places like China, they'll never invade America. What they will do is take them down financially and own America, right? They already own farmland in this country, which still makes no sense to me how a regime like China can own land in the U.S. when we cannot own land there, right? So my whole thing's always been, China can dominate the U.S. one day, but it's going to be through money. It's not going to be through war. So the higher and higher that national debt gets, the harder and the harder it is for a country to survive. 12. Corey. Especially if most of that debt is, say, to China. That's probably how they own land here, is because they've written off a certain part of a debt, and you're not going to hear about that kind of stuff, just to own land here. Something political, monetarily, is at play there. Mandrill, New Worlds vinyl record, sold for $8, headed to Santa Clarita, California. But every president who has ever been in office runs the national debt up. We've never had anybody look at it from a different standpoint and go, how can we eliminate this national debt? Well, from what I understand, and kind of the little bit I do know about it, having like a fair trade tariff will help do that. Not only will it help do that, if it brings down tariffs for, like, we can't, if we send stuff to, I mean, you know what a VAT is. You've seen the VAT totals on some of the stuff. If you're selling on eBay, some of these countries, the item price is doubled just for them to order something. So if they want something for $10, they're going to pay $20 just to get it, right? So if you can negotiate better tariffs all the way around, not only will the country be making more money, but there's a better chance we'll get more sales from that country on places like eBay, Amazon, wherever you're selling, Poshmark. Well, I don't think Poshmark does international, but anyway. But what I'm saying is, us as resellers should get more money if they're able to pay less. I get it all the time. How many? I'm sure you guys have. Can you put that I paid less for the item so I don't have to pay as much in import tax? Of course, don't do that. We can't do that. We can get in trouble for doing that. So if tariffs are lower and or more fair, we as resellers will get more sales. Now, I don't trust polls, but I saw a poll yesterday where the positive 100 days or whatever has gone more people worried now than before, but that's to be expected. When you're playing a chess game, it takes time, and things will suffer from it short term, but benefit long term. So it's almost like you got to get through, you got to weather the little bit of the storm until you get the sunshine, if you will. Next up, we got this 2 BASS cassettes sold for $10 together, headed to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. That being said, also, businesses like ours, if you just sell anything and everything, low cost, whatever type of stuff, you're not going to be affected. Actually, your numbers may rise because instead of people, places like, I don't know, let's just say a Target who imports a bunch of stuff from China right now, well, their prices are going to go up, which means people are going to shop less, which means they may come into places like eBay and shop more. And those companies, they've got the means to weather the storm. These big companies have the means to weather the storm. And also, a perfect scenario would be, do I ever see it happening? Not long term, because I got a feeling whoever's in office next will eliminate some of the stuff. But I never understood why we let so many companies start building outside of the country. So if we can bring more back, of course, that's just going to help also. But I don't think any of us have anything to worry about. I think most of us are going to benefit from what's going on. The big businesses, they're going to survive. I mean, if you can pay your CEO multi-millions of dollars, you know what? Pay your CEO a little less for a year and you'll survive, right? So I don't have sympathy for for companies like that. It's the ones in between that will have the problems. The small business, if you will, who import from China. But if I was in that position, sure, it would be stressful, but if you're a real entrepreneur, every hurdle is a new task. Every hurdle can lead to something greater. So all you have to do is reconfigure, rethink, reprocess what you're doing, and figure out different ways of doing it, which may turn out to be better than what you were doing originally. Or at the least, sustain you until it's a better situation. So yeah, so I think, you know, as long as you're not drop shipping from China on eBay or importing cheap Chinese stuff and selling it, because we know there's tons of that crap on eBay, you're going to be fine. So that's my little take. Like I said, I haven't got too much into the details and such, but because I'm just going off the basics and keeping it simple, and that's what I'm doing about everything nowadays. Is I'm just keeping everything simple. I'm not worrying about it. I'm just trying to counteract everything, right? Or just keep the ball rolling. So, and we got definitely more of the clothing store to ship out this morning. All right, first up, we've got a Columbia long sleeve t-shirt that sold for $14.50, headed to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Looks so comfy, his fluffy face. This is a fluffy face. No. Let's take that one up. That's headed to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Oh. Next up. So apparently I've got more of these. I think I got 2 left. I saw 2 more in there. And that was that Thomas Tank collection. I bought a whole tub of that stuff from a yard sale last year for $10. And it's just been sitting. So I finally put it up and listed it a month ago or so. So we got these 3, $8, $8, and $12. Headed to Bell, California. I didn't think I would get that kind of money out of them when I bought them. My original thought paying $10 for a Hode tote was at least trying to get $40 out of the Hode tote and just a lot. But definitely made more than that. This one glows in the dark. Ooh. Jessica. Next up. Oops. Did I leave stuff in a... Fifth grade shirt. Sold for $6. Headed to Linder, Texas. Texas. I see places all the time like that Gas Monkey Garage. And like the Diesel Brothers used to do it a lot, where they would give a car away by selling merch. I always wonder what the legal ramifications of doing something like that is, because it's. And then I used to see people on YouTube where they would go to a website and you could buy raffle tickets for a car giveaway. And again, what's the ramifications for legally being able to do something like that? Right? So I've always wondered that. But man, you got to be moving some merch if you're giving away a $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 vehicle. Sometimes a $100,000 vehicle. Sometimes a vehicle and $100,000. Or like the newest one, the Gas Monkey one, the vehicle and $25,000. You got to be moving some serious merch to be able to do something like that. Because it ain't worth it unless you're making money. Got this women's visor, sold for $10.50. Headed to New Lebanon, Ohio. I would love to see. I'm more fascinated with the books and behind the scenes of the business side of things. Like, I would love to see the numbers on things like that. Next up, are you ready? They didn't take advantage of my buy two get one free. Got the Cardinal cap here. And the Cardinal cap here. $10.50 a piece. Shawnee, Oklahoma. Oh, that's right. Adrian's working from home today. That's right. Forgot about that. Bob. That means I got to figure out what I want for lunch because he always goes get lunch. What am I going to want for lunch today? Got another Cardinal cap. Headed to Blackjack, Missouri. Sold for $8. Did the Cardinals win this weekend or something? I got some Cardinals hat, and that ain't the last of them. So, yeah, $8. I think I said it already. Oh, my, when I bought the new camera, it said 4 weeks out, but it shipped yesterday, so I should get it soon. Steve. If you don't know, I bought the camera I bought was one of those ones that sit on the desk. So it's basically shaped like that. And so when I lay my CD, I can lay a CD down on it, and the camera's right above it. So I can probably, I'm guessing I can set it up to where it'll square in on a certain spot. I put the CD or cassette there. Supposedly just hit one button and it takes the picture. So it'd be real super quick. A lot quicker than... That camera gets heavy after a while. The hand camera I got, so I'm like, sometimes I'll have to sit it down and pick it back up, refocus. So if I can just boom, 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 it's gonna make it a lot quicker. I've had this shirt in my store for several years. Had it really high priced just in case. Never got anything on it. Somebody just sent me an offer for $20, so I took it. This Kids Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles vintage t-shirt, single stitch. Check out the cool old tag. The only bite I've ever got on it. So it's only worth what somebody's willing to pay. So $20 headed to Lake Forest Park, Washington. So it's time for it to go to a new home. So I've been thinking more about really setting up doing a live. And I think I'll be all right if I just base it off questions that are on YouTube, and then being in live, there'll be questions within the chat. So I think I'll be fine just doing it as a question and answer type of live, you know, talking about whatever. I've got this Cardinals Stadium giveaway reversible bucket hat. Sold for $7, headed to Winnebago, Illinois. Come on, get off. Get off. Now it's just keeping myself, just making myself do it. Like I always have anxiety to do it, but then once I get there, I'm fine. It's just that anxiety, for some reason, I still get anxiety going onto a live or even thinking about doing my own live. I just haven't been able to really let that go yet. I don't know why. I don't know. But then again, I don't know. I still, like, even, like I saw pictures from that Nashville meetup this past weekend. And like that gave me anxiety. Like, I don't know if I would enjoy going to something like that. It just gives me anxiety seeing all those people around, just knowing I would be sitting there going, when I could be working, making money. Next up, Prison Brews hat. Sold for $8. Headed over to Glen Carbon, Illinois. Oh, I just like being in my element, I guess. Whether that's in a thrift store or just in my office working or riding my bike around the lake. Like anything other than my things I enjoy doing are just anxiety ridden. But I've gotten over a lot of that when it comes to, like, I would have it and I would put off things like, going to get dog food, or, like I still won't go into, I go into the grocery store just to get some prescriptions and I'm out. Like, I see that line, I'm like, as I'm going in, I'm thinking, well, I'm here, I might as well pick up this, and then I see the lines, I'm like, oh no, get in, get out. Like, I always just put all that stuff off, and I'm better about that kind of stuff now, at least. I still won't stand in line, but I mean, I'll stand in line before self-checkout, but it's still, for some stupid reason, and it seems like it's gotten worse over the years. Like, I never used to be that way. I guess I was, in a sense, just not that detailed, like a grocery store or whatever. But any place that I've never been or I'm uncomfortable, I might be uncomfortable at, always had high anxiety. Simply Vera Wang, women's dress. Or no, it's a blouse, sorry. So for $8, headed to Woodbridge, Virginia. But what's weird is you get me on a road trip, I'm going in anywhere, everywhere. I don't care. Oh, I've never been there before. Let's go. But yet, everyday stuff around me, or even something weird around me, it gets anxiety. Like, if somebody invited me to go someplace, I don't know where, a formal dinner, something at a banquet hall or something, like, I'd be full of anxiety. I think the anxiety comes from just feel like I'm wasting time. Maybe that's where it's coming from. Everything I'm talking about right now is pointing back to sitting around or standing in line, wasting time. Maybe the common variable there. Maybe that's it. Maybe so if I stop looking at everything as a waste of time, then maybe that anxiety will go away. That might be the key right there. Because my whole life has been about not wasting time. That's why I never drank. I never did drugs, because I didn't want to waste my time. I didn't want to be in a state where I felt like time's just going by and I'm not getting nothing. I'm not making no positive progress. And that might play into the other factor too that I've talked about, where I always find it hard to be in the moment. So maybe those two kind of work together. Next up, are you ready for a headline? Yeah. Buy two, get one free, $10.50 a piece. We got this blank blue one here. We got this RA hat here. And we've got this hooked up hat here. Headed to Mountain Home, Arkansas. I'm my own therapist. That's kind of like the beauty of just having an open mind and being free to talk about whatever, even if it's something that's not so positive or if it's something that might be a flaw, right? Like instead of having to go to see somebody to talk about it, I can just talk to myself about it, talk to you guys about it and figure it out my damn self. I've had to figure out everything in life by my damn self, so nothing new. Which was a downfall for a long time, too. Because you would never take anybody else's advice or thoughts. You would be kind of closed-minded because you had to figure everything out yourself. I've probably only been past that for maybe 15 years. Maybe even a little less than that. Maybe more like 12 years. Where I started really listening to other people and mulling over that new information, if you will. So it's hard to get out of that hard-headed stubbornness when you felt like you've never had nobody to rely on. So every decision was your decision. It was a hard habit to break. Was that Peter Cetera, Hard Habit to Break? I don't know the song. Haven't heard that song since like the 80s or whatever. Hard Habit to Break song. Chicago, Peter Cetera. Okay. Oh, the window's open. Alright. Just Still at $34 on the media store. Still at $77 on the other store. We're at $8.10. And I'm off to the post office. And to get me a frozen Coke. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Well, thanks everybody for hanging out. I got notes down for the second episode of So You Want to Be a Reseller. So I may shoot that today. Depending on my headspace, how focused I am. Might take a break and do that, if you will. So I'll probably see you later today. So thanks everybody, and I'll see you all in the next video. Later.